Hello all, there will be spoilers. Yes, this is yet another review that proclaims Ocarina of Time as one of the greatest games of all time. Perhaps I am maybe decades late, but it will be a bit of retrospective with all these modern games out there with different standards and expectations. Zelda is a beloved franchise created by Nintendo, and its recurring plots involve a chosen one who shall save the kingdom from impending evil force in a sort of medieval and high fantasy setting. Here we focus on a specific game called Ocarina of Time, which was released in 1998. It is the first Zelda game that attempted to transition from 2D, or rather 2.5D if you played those top-down games, to full 3D, and such task is not exactly straightforward. Turned out that Nintendo had succeeded at this very well, perhaps buoyed by the success and immediately recent experience of developing Super Mario 64 and combining them with many of existing core Zelda formulas such as diverse and non-linear environments, complex dungeon designs, multifunctional tools that don't feel gimmicky, and traditional enemies designs from previous titles. What is more impressive is that in 3D for this time, sword fight is very precise. Hitboxes are tight and accurate, and you also can dodge the attacks that are mere pixels away. Furthermore, from a technical view, this game was known for innovating ways for a player to interact with objects meaningfully, especially in 3D. With Z-targeting, camera would orient in a way that player can clearly see the target, be it an enemy or some static object. Additionally, a context-sensitive button would also allow player to perform different actions such as pushing box or picking up pot. Because of this, it allows game designers more flexibility in coming up with ideas for a player to act out without needing to assign all the extra buttons on game controller. Because of these technical ideas, Ocarina of Time is widely considered as a technical milestone in gaming industry, and given birth to generations of modern 3D adventure and action games thereafter. Music is also an important component of gameplay, and actually Ocarina of Time has a big focus on it. Given that ocarina in the title, you will be using ocarina, which is a weird bulky kind of flute. In-game, it has many purposes and powers, including summoning a horse, fast traveling, and even means to stun certain enemies. What makes Ocarina of Time such a compelling game experience is probably all in small details, where it is much more to the typical good versus evil story plot that appeals all kinds of gamers. For casual player, it probably helps that there are coherent elements and environments and vastness of them that promote a sense of exploration. A very clean and clear menu interface aided by features of being able to save anytime and seeing your character actually changing equipment, unlike other games, is very pleasant too, for a bit more hardcore subset of players. The game has huge variety of collectibles such as golden sculptures, hard containers, upgrading equipment. Furthermore, there are loads and loads of Easter eggs. Conspiracy-minded kind of gamers may be pressed to find whether Triforce actually exists or that it is possible to beat a running man. However, some of them had been successful in finding ridiculous glitches and methods that may contain game-breaking bugs or help with speedruns. For a while, nobody knew that running backward is actually faster than running forward. It is not clear whether it is intentional design, but Nintendo is known to sometimes incorporate subtle gameplay like this. There are many other small details that are underappreciated, such as some unexpected horror aspects, changing engaging environment that comes along with time travel that invoke some sentimentality, the first 3D game where it makes sense to be able to ride a horse and do some bit of archery. There is even first perspective mode using slingshot or arrow that emphasizes the feeling of actually being in 3D. I particularly appreciated how many items you found in dungeons have numerous uses outside Overall, Ocarina of Time is a classic that has a significant gameplay length and impressively bittersweet ending, and it had provided countless hours of entertainment. For many people, oh yeah, nobody definitely expected this shop to be something else.